up to 13 minutes past, the hour. And I'll first and foremost like to appreciate my producer and all the technical team that are working behind the scene to enable us to come again tonight so that we can talk to you, our listeners from around the globe. Um, this evening, we're going to kickstart again from where we stopped. But like I said, we couldn't have done this without appreciating our producer, once again, Mr. Frank and Archie and the rest of the team that are, not the phone, the rest of the team that are working tirelessly, to make sure that we can continue to give you all the necessary information coming out of Nigeria. A lot of people know Nigeria, but I'm not sure whether they know a bit of the background to Nigeria as a whole. So our job on Star Radio UK is to make sure that we look at the issues, we look at what actually is going on in Nigeria of today. There is quite a lot of happenings. We will be discussing that again tonight. We do know that there's a lot of insecurity and there's quite a lot of things that a lot of Nigerians are not pleased with. But I believe that most Nigerians probably do not know a little bit more about Nigeria. And what do I mean by that is, everybody knows that we had our independent, we had our independent, Ramadan is out, we had our independent at the moment in 1960, but we were not told a couple of things that the union that a lot of people are looking up to right now doesn't seem to be fitting the narratives. So this evening, my job is to quickly look at one particular gray area, that is having a big impact on the lives of millions of Nigerians, and that is the Constitution of Nigeria. When we talk about the Constitution, it is a document, just as so many countries around the globe, knows that when you talk about Constitution, it has a big impact to lives of the people. I will be discussing what the pastor of Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, said over the weekend, which was just on Sunday, where he was having a service, and that generated quite a lot of conversation with millions of Nigerians in terms of part of what he said, regarding the 2023 general election. Again, I will be reviewing, the self-determination. We're going to be discussing about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be appearing again at the court in Abuja on the 8th of April, and why, the British government is not doing enough, as a British passport holder, on his case. What is still your take on that in terms of a British citizen that traveled all the way down to Kenya, but eventually was kidnapped and renditioned back to Nigeria? So we're going to be discussing that as well. But the aspect of it is, I'll open the line, but I'll be telling you what number you would have to call, because I know some of you that do listen to us on all our other platforms have some numbers with you. But the number that I want you to call tonight, especially our listeners from other countries, whether you're listening from Uganda, from Ghana, from South Africa, from Sierra Leone, I would also love to let call in as well when that time approached. The 1999 Constitution, like I said, is one particular gray area that so many Nigerians have asked again and again, what is the essence of a document that was put together with the military decree 24, and that's been used, to the lives of millions of people in a country that has about 206 million people, and likewise almost hundreds of different ethnic groups that was put together. So I will be asking all these questions to some of you that are out there, just to find out approaching. We're seeing all the politicians, as usual, in their what funfair, because all I see that is happening at the moment in Nigeria is what we can categorically call funfair. So what that literally means that Nigerians at the moment are all having fun because election is meant to happen. But what they are not telling Nigerians at present is what has been the gain of all the previous election that has happened in Nigeria since 1999. What gain have Nigerians experienced, enjoy? When we talk about election in Nigeria, what has that impact of those elections to the average lives of Nigerians? So I want us to look at all these tonight again, for the next 2 hours, so that we can all have these, view and background of this beautiful country that a lot of people are still holding on to. Not somebody like me. You all know my views and my opinion, where I believe that as a Yoruba man, I would rather want to have a nation of our own, and then I would love to have beautiful neighbors around me, just as we have these beautiful neighbors around us in United Kingdom, where you can easily just buy a ticket and travel to Dublin as a British citizen without any problem at all. So I would love to have that same opportunity as well. But the problem we're having is the current situation that we have at the moment does not even allow you as a Nigerian citizen to travel to South Africa, which is just about probably less than an hour and a half, or Kenya, where you can also travel as well. So my take then is, why should we then want to love a country that probably doesn't have enough to offer you? So all this is part of the conversation tonight. We will get in the first track ready in just about a few minutes, where we will be lining that up. But if you're watching us for the very first time, you've actually come onto Starr Radio UK, and this is called Niger Voices, every Wednesday, where we focus on issues in Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole, and issues affecting Nigerians outside the country as well. The day today is still the 6th of April. The year is running very fast as usual. Keep your comment coming. I will be looking into your comments. I will be reading them out, and likewise to get your own into the conversation tonight. Okay, thank you so much. I've just been told that we have a lot of our fans in Senegal and Mali. Thank you so much, those of you that are watching us from that part of the globe. We have quite a lot of people that are also watching us from Oman, Malaysia, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand. We appreciate every single one of you, Ajik Kanle, and all our brothers in Benin Republic, as well as all our followers and listeners from what they would like to be known as the Yoruba land rather than Nigeria, even though, like Frank will always say, we're still in Nigeria, but the process is already on so that we can leave Nigeria peacefully. So thank you so much for that. Good evening to you, Mr. Olatunji Ofessor, and all our Muslim brothers and sisters that are still in their fasting mode. Good evening to all our listeners in the northern part of Nigeria. We are concerned about the insecurity, the killings that is taking place in southern Kaduna, in Yobe, and almost every other part of the country where there is a situation that is having big impact to the lives of millions of our people that are living in those areas. Good evening to those of you that are in Dubai. I believe that the wife of the President Muhammadu Buhari, she's still currently in Dubai. I'm not sure why we have the wife of the president living in Dubai while the citizens that are living in Dubai, that are Nigerians, are having a very, very difficult time, especially in terms of the renewal of their resident permit that has become a hell of a problem for them. So where do we start? When we talk about 1999 Constitution, there's been a lot of different views and different opinion about it. Why has it been kept in darkness that so many Nigerians today do not know that that same constitution that we are holding on to was put together by just few military guys that during their era believe that it is the best option to lock Nigerians into what we are facing today. The 1999 Constitution has been argued by so many people that this is a fraudulent document that should not have been used, but unfortunately, it is having the effect already. So when I was preparing for this program this evening, I kept asking myself, we have a lot of constitutional lawyers, we have a lot of civil rights organizations, we have a lot of different groups that should have been able to use this constitution by taking it to the court of law and argue that we should not allow it to have run for the last 20 years since since we came back after the crisis of the 1993 when the late Chief M.K. Abiola was killed by the military junta. So how did we allow this to go that long? And a lot of Nigerians that are now saying that a 2023 election, a PVC will chase away some of these big players. Do you think that this constitution has progress? This constitution has peace and unity? We've listened to different people that have spoken passionately about this same constitution, and one of them was the former Senator Olushola Adeyeye, that spoke about this constitution at some point. Let's hear what he said during that period.
I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrently.
Well, I hope you listen to most of what is said regarding the Constitution. But we're going to have one more from two more from the perspective of what Pastor Paul Adefarasi said as well. But 5 years ago, before I go to Pastor Paul Adefarasi, 5 years ago, we know that Robert Clark, the senior advocate of Nigeria, also spoke that the 1999 Constitution created more problems for Nigeria. So are Nigerians so comfortable today, being the 6th of April 2022, you're live on Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, where you can also follow us on all our social media handles on Starr Radio UK. This is Niger Voices. 5 years ago, Robert Clark said, and I quote, the 1999 Constitution created more problems for Nigerians. Do you agree with him or do you disagree? Do you think that most of the problems that we are facing today in Nigeria has got to do with the 1999 Constitution? Or is it just something that maybe if we have given this more push, we wouldn't have been where we are today, especially for those that are now asking for the total disintegration from Nigeria? What is your own take on that? I will first say the 1999 Constitution was drafted by the military junta under the leadership of General Abdusalam Abubakar. But why did we not challenge it at the court of law? Why did we allow this to go on for a very long time, and it created a lot of havoc and mishap to the lives of millions of Nigerians around the world? Why did nobody say so much? Good evening to you, all our listeners once again from different part of the globe, wherever you're watching. I'm going to be releasing the audio. The soundtrack is going to be coming up at 18:33 as we continue to look and ask the question about this Constitution. This is what Robert Clark said 5 years ago. The 1999 Constitution created more problems for Nigeria. Let's listen to him.
Robert Clark, a senior advocate of Nigeria, a legal practitioner, joins us next as we continue our focus on this amendment to the 1999 Constitution. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming on this.
Always my pleasure to be here.
The Honorable said that, in fact, it has an interesting theme, that retreat that they have, towards ensuring good governance, accountability in Nigerian federalism. And I did ask him, he says, look, that Nigerians may have the wrong impression, but they mean well for this country. But looking at some of the provisions, I know you've gone through this, you think they really mean well for good governance from what you've seen?
Let us be honest with ourselves. We lawyers say you cannot build something on nothing. The Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, is a constitution that I believe we should jettison completely because it does not augur well. After 17 years, it has created more problems for us in Nigeria.
This video or the soundtrack you're all listening to, depending on where you are in the world this evening, whether you are in Abidjan, whether you are in Liberia, Sierra Leone, whether you are in Libya, Iraq, Georgia, Greece, Germany, Turkey, whether you are in Spain, whether you are just at home. Robert Clark said 5 years ago, that was 17 years ago then, that this 1999 constitution should have been jettisoned, should have been thrown out of the proportion and not allowed to be run in Nigeria. But unfortunately, it seems that we've allowed it to continue, and now it has more done damage. And the question I'm asking some of us that are watching us right now is, do we just accept now that without a proper constitution, we must not allow election to hold in next year, 2023, and likewise some of the election, from the perspective of this present election that is coming up as well in Osun and Ekiti, that one of the members of the Ilano worldwide have literally now said that will be taking the Nigerian government to court to challenge it at the court of law. And I guess the first court case will be coming up on the 13th of April in Osun State, Oshogbo, which a lot of the Yorubas are expected to attend as well. So if you're at home, it will be well considerable that you attend these upcoming court case. Why did we not challenge it is what I'm asking this evening. Why did we allow this to go on for a very long time? I mean, we have well-educated lawyers, professors, the socialite, the civil, human right. Why have we allowed a fraudulent document to hold the bondage on the lives of millions of Nigerians that are now crying out to say something must be done? Let's hear a little bit more from the senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark. This video or this audio was about 5 years ago.
It has created more problems for us in Nigeria. It has given more powers to the executive governors and the president, that in exercising these powers, they have allowed corruption to come in. Let me give you an instance. The question of security votes with governors has no basis in the Constitution. They are illegally accepting security votes without constitutional provision.
That I want us to look into, security votes. Every Nigerians hear that governors are getting security vote to the tune of billions of naira. Nobody knows what they do with the money. Nobody knows how the money is spent. Nobody knows how the money is used to secure the lives of every citizen underneath those governors. But what we've never asked is this even under the Constitution of Nigeria? But we do not know that what we call security vote, you've had it before, security vote. These governors have them, but nobody has the breakdown. Nobody knows how they spent it. Everybody knows. I believe, if I'm right, maybe this, okay. I know a lot of you that we've said we're going to open the phone line for the benefit of those that are watching us from around the world. The number that you would like to WhatsApp call only is +44 74 04 40 5917 +447 404 405 917. So you can say I've taken it in threes and I've taken them in twos, because those at home prefer them in twos, but those outside prefer them in threes. I was following the news as well from Thomas Sankara verdict. It started 6-month trial that began 34 years ago, and it seems now somebody, the former president, remember Thomas Sankara was assassinated in 1987. So it looks like justice has now been served, but I'm not sure whether everybody, is happy with the outcome. We'll come back to that later. Olatunji says, why, with a question mark, the court of law and the Supreme Court is dominated by the Fulani/Hausa judges. They will find it difficult declaring the 1999 Constitution null and void. So is that the reason why this was not challenged? Nigerians are now jubilating that they will use their PVC to get rid of whatever government they prefer, for those that still think that there will be 2023, because even Pastor Enoch Adeboye, which we're going to be playing that video later on, says, and I quote, is not sure of the 2023 election because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss that have not yet been discussed. So talking about 2023 is out. He says, I'm not thinking of 2023. That is Pastor Enoch Adeboye of Redeemed Christian Church of God. It's coming up to 1840, just about 20 minutes before 1900 hours, which is just 20 minutes before 7 p.m., which is what a lot of you in Nigeria would prefer. But we tend to use the 24 hours clock here in the United Kingdom. This is Starr Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. You can join me here every Wednesday between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., where we look at all the issues regarding the self-determination movement. Nnamdi Kanu court case is coming up in the next 48 hours. Ramadan Kareem to those of you that are fasting, to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. But let me go back to what more was discussed 5 years ago by the senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark.
Provisions. Security votes was brought in by the military governors.
Okay, remember that. Security vote was brought by the military junta. So that means for years, they were giving money to people that were just saving that money somewhere, stashing them somewhere, keeping them. And then when they leave the office, they have enough money to kill, they have enough money to maim, they have enough money to make sure that they suppress Nigerians. And if you do something, they might probably kill you, which is what has actually happened a lot of times. Hello, caller.
Hello, Koike.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Niger Voices.
Hello, good evening over here.
You've been listening to, I believe, the conversation.
All right.
And I would like to ask you your own take and your view around the conversation tonight again. And thank you so much. I believe that's Bishop Additional, our regular. I hope you can hear me. Although I know the line is cracking.
Yeah.
It's calling out from Nigeria, but go ahead.
The reason why there is unwillingness for Nigerians, let me say Southerners, people who have effrontery that can challenge that constitution, the reason why there is no willingness to do so is because those who have effrontery or spokesman who are the frontiers to do so have been silenced with money. They've been silenced with money. They've been silenced with portions of the national cake. Many of them have been given the oil well. So there is nobody that can frontier to kick against the constitution or take it to court. All the people that have effrontery to do that have been settled one way or the other. So the lower cadre people who have intelligence enough and know that these things should not go this way have no strength to further suit. Even if they try, those people they met up with we discourage them back. We discourage them back. Just the way they try to discourage Yoruba nation, but they see that the clamor is bigger than them, so they can't stop Yoruba nation.
Wow.
Now, when you talk about security votes being given to governors and it's not constitutional, this is a national cake for the governors who they know they even have infantry to rise up against the constitution imbalance in future. Because you see, these people that have laid their hold on Nigeria government or Nigeria system, they are crooks. They are crooks and they mean business. They acquire both intellectuals for the criminal purpose, intellectuals, lawyers, spiritualists, both pastors, imams, traditionalists, lawyers, intellectual, international expatriates, to give them technical know-how about putting Nigeria completely in bondage for their personal benefit. So these people, they mean business. We that are citizens, we are the ones that did not know what lay hold on our nation. So the people who are saying they are against the way Nigeria is, who are saying the constitution should not be allowed for further election on it, but are now turning around, because I study the trend. I see some people now changing voices, are now turning around saying that people should go and get PVC, that they want to use their PVC now to put whoever they want in office. They don't know what they are doing. I'm saying it with 100% of my mouth. They don't know what they are doing. No PVC. Your PVC doesn't count in Nigeria. Your election doesn't count. It doesn't matter the number of people you think have PVC and you vote that they will not be able to read. Your election doesn't count. The people that want to be the president has already been arranged. Your PVC, your election is a formality. I will give you one example.
Go ahead.
During the second election, I think 2017, the second, 2019, the second election of Buhari, there was a professor that, no, it was during Jega. It is the first election, his first election. That's 2015. There was a professor who came out to announce his own result, and for the past 15 minutes, the professor was looking at the result and not saying anything. They even give him big torchlight. Big torchlight. They say, sir, what he said, he cannot. He's trying to look very well. They give him torchlight so he could see.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
It was so glaring that the man saw what he didn't write and did not sign from his state in his hand to be announced there. Another proof is a particular professor from Port Harcourt to announce Port Harcourt result. And he publicly said that he is announcing, he wrote this report, this electoral report, under due rest. That it is not from his heart that he wrote this kind of report and number. That he wrote it under due rest. And yet, that result was not cancelled. That result was not nullified. That result was still counted and added. So I have known people, member of my church, who work with INEC during elections. They gave report of how it's being done. When they will be in camp and politicians will bring Ghana must go bags full of money in the night prior to the election to the camp where all these INEC people are, and they will give all this money to all their ogas to share every INEC staff that want to work, both NYSC, both people that want to collect your staff, to give them money. Some will bring food, all manner of this kind of atrocities that should not take place goes on. And these already make the people in charge of the INEC from the local level to compromise. It doesn't matter what you vote. It doesn't matter what the person comes and they write from the polling booths that this is the result. Their own is to submit the result, paperwork. The person that will collect the result in that local, there is the person that already have the mandate what you should write. And everybody goes to that. So it's just an exercise that must be to fulfill all righteousness. Who will win will win. So your BBC doesn't count in Nigeria. And that is the reason in the House of Assembly they were talking about electronic voting. But the House refused to accept that. People are saying in this age, we cannot be doing manual. You want to count votes, you count a vote for almost 1 week. Collating from state to state, that is the period they are using delay tactics. It's a delay tactics. So by the time they will say one state have not come, the so state have come, some states have not come, they will be using that to measure, okay, who is leading now? Who is leading now? What is the rest number of states that we can use to counter, to inflate the vote from that side? You see, these are tactics. Are you getting so that? But in the House of Assembly, they said that we want the lecturer so that in a day, election can be totally put together, and they said no, they don't want. So in Nigeria, there is unwillingness to tackle the constitution. And as Obasanjo said, Obasanjo have said it clearly that you can't push these old fools. You can't leave them to go. You have to push them out. You cannot just leave them. He is one of them, but he's not in government. But he's telling us now that you cannot leave these old fools to let them go so that we can take over. No, they will not go easily like that. They will not go. You have to push them. Make it uncomfortable and inconvenient, create that inconvenient environment for them so that they can live. So that is what I think people should look at, and not one PVC or something. You can't fight the constitution. You can't elect. You can't do whatever. What you can do is to demand your right through the Yoruba nation. To demand your right through your nation. Claim your nation. Claim your land. Don't enforce anything that is not ours or our own or us. Claim your land. Claim your nation. So when they see that, they will know that the time is up. Okay. The time is up, and there's no more space for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that was one of our listeners from Nigeria, Bishop Additional. You can also add your own conversation into what we are discussing tonight. But before we go further, I've got the video ready for
where is the money going to? 80% of what should have been the income of a nation is going to the hand of some people. That's a lot of money, man. What do they want to do with the money? That's question number 3. Question number 4. Who are the foreign nations buying this stolen oil? Question number 5. How many of these nations of the world are your friends? So you can see the reason why I'm not thinking of 2023. Maybe that's why God has not spoken to me about that, because there is a lot to deal with.
There's a lot to deal with. But before we review what the Pastor Enoch Adeboye was saying there, I want to take us back to a video that also popped up of what the current governor of Kaduna State has been saying. Robert Clark was telling us there, if you all remember, the audio that we were listening to regarding the security vote, in tons of billions. Nobody knows what the governor does with it. Nobody has a record, an auditing record of how the governor spent those kind of money. But what we know is, as of today, money is still being received by the governors for security vote. Let's hear more. Then I'm going to now take you back to the audio that we've got ready with the sound engineer tonight. Again, it's Naija Voices. The topic we are looking at is the 1999 Constitution. What do Nigerians think around it as well? So keep your comment coming. I'll be reading them out, and I'll be also appreciating each and every one of you. Good evening to you as you're joining into Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
The military governors. Because being a military governor, he needed security votes to start looking at people who are going to topple their government by way of a coup. So they allowed them that money so that they could be paying spies to report any coup attempts. Now, the civilians inherited it without a constitutional provision. When Imo State was...
Thank you so much, Mr. Aziz. Olatunji Afeso said the Nigerian electoral register is not up to standard. He also said, if we are operating a true federalism, each state should have its own electoral commission independent from the central government. You're just joining us. This is Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As you all know, at the second segment of this program, at about just under 4 minutes, we will then be looking at the self-determination. Nnamdi Kanu will be going back again to the court in the next 48 hours. The Biafra movement, the Yoruba movement, and I believe the Hausa are also speaking up, as a lot of them are now complaining, just as the other two major ethnic groups. Welcome again to Starr Radio UK.
During his 5 years something on your channels, the commissioner said Okorocha released 4 billion of his security vote to enable them to use it in building schools. Let us even agree.
Did you hear that? Okorocha said he was able to use 4 billion naira of his own security vote to build schools. Remember that Okorocha was a one-time governor of, I believe, Anambra State. Is now the current is a senator in this 9th Assembly. He's also contesting to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he has said that he will make sure that every Nigerians have a good time when he becomes the president. Even Yaya Bello have just made his own declaration, and according to him, he says he will make Nigeria just as he has made Kogi State a better state.
Them to use it in building schools. Let us even agree that 4 billion is the minimum. When you multiply 4 billion by 36 every year for the past 17 years, you see what money has been going into the pockets of these governors.
Did you hear that? So if you multiply 17, good evening to those of you on the Instagram, we can see you as well. Those of you on the MixLR, it is a quiet weather outside, from my studio here back to the studio in where the engineers are working tirelessly. I'm sure some of you could not see me on the morning show yesterday and today, but we promise to be back tomorrow to continue with the update as well. You can be sending money home to your loved ones. Remember to use send waves. You can also remember that you can use the Starr Radio code, which is S for Starr, R for Radio. Kudos and shout out to my loved ones, my family, and every single one of you out there that are also working tirelessly. We're going to be discussing the 5 million petition. When we get to that segment, we're going to be discussing, what we should be doing more in terms of our campaign and awareness as well. So for the first time, let's say, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome to Starr Radio UK. I'm going to leave the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, because I want to quickly listen to what El-Rufai, the current governor, where if you've been looking at some of the images, about almost 200 people are still missing from the Kaduna train after a week. Nobody knows where they are. The governor have said something during the Jonathan regime. But presently, as we know, the governor is not doing a lot to protect the lives of all the southern Kaduna, where wreckage, havoc, the military has completely been overthrown by the terrorists in Nigeria. There's also evidence of a coup, an imminent of a coup in Nigeria. And you might wake up anytime and there will be an announcement on the Nigerian radio that there will be a coup. So all these, there's a lot being played behind the scene. But this is what he had to say when they were not in power. They were the opposition then.
Any leader or any political leader that says he's going to fight corruption, create jobs, and make Nigeria peaceful and secure is the one that thinks about the interests of young people. That is what the APC stands for. That is what General Muhammad Buhari stands for. And that is why I am here appealing to you to pass this message about General Buhari. And make...
What is going to be the campaign message of the APC? Again, to millions of you out there still hoping that there is a country. I'm going to be playing some of the clip from the last conversation we had with Professor Banji Akintoye when we get to that next segment, which we're just about 1 minute past 1900 hours. That's exactly 1 minute past 7 p.m. Once again, if you've just joined us, you are on Starr Radio UK. El-Rufai was campaigning that if you allow Buhari to come in, the current president of Nigeria, you will be able to get peace of mind. Your life will be better. But if you look at the headline behind me, which we have right there, as the engineer, might line it up properly so that our listeners can be able to see properly. Yeah, right there. So if you look at that headline, this was the headline last week after the terrorist attack on Nigerians while they were traveling from Abuja to Kaduna. You will notice that the current Minister for Transportation, that is also a member of the APC, Aziz Olakunle, says the 1999 Constitution, let's read that out. The 1999 Constitution is a fraud and also big evil behind Nigerian retrogression. We have to pull it down. Well, not just pull it down. From my end, I also believe that as a Yoruba man, my view, my take, my opinion, not from Starr Radio UK, is that the country called Nigeria should go into a total dissolution or disintegration, breakaway, so that the ethnic group, the indigenous, can literally take back and control the security. I'm going to play back more what El-Rufai says there, and then we continue with the program. Sorry about that. Good evening to you, Mrs. Fatima Mustafa, and welcome to you. You're joining us on Starr Radio UK. This program comes on every Wednesday. We've been doing this for the last almost 5 years now. discussing issues affecting Nigeria. I believe in 2019, not I believe, in 2019, Star Radio UK traveled down to Nigeria, which I represent them, to monitor that election. And there was just a lot that I was able to pull back and report back. You could understand that, as many of you saw it as well, there was never an election in Nigeria. It's just selection.
He has been governor, minister, and head of state. This has done it all. You will not have a learner on the job. You will not have a learner that will behave like a drunken driver.
I could see there, Fayemi shaking his head like that. But if information reaching us, which I also have evidence, we can't show some of these images because of the community standard of some of the social media we're streaming to as well. You can also remember to download our apps on Star Radio UK, where you can listen to us without any interruption as well. In Ekiti State, 7 people have been kidnapped, in the last couple of days, and you can see Fayemi shaking his head, and you wonder what some of these governors are doing with the security vote in their hands. You can see there, that background, Kaduna train attack. I warned that lives will be lost, and yes, a lot of lives were lost. If you look at the score sheet of Nigeria today, and the FCDO, the Foreign Affairs here in UK, have continued to update the website to those that are traveling to Nigeria to avoid going to the northern part of Nigeria because it is completely chaos. Nigeria, as we speak right now, still remain number 3 when we talk about the Global Terrorism Index. That means you are likely, to be killed by a terrorist attack in Nigeria today. You are likely to be kidnapped by a terrorist in Nigeria today. You are likely to be invaded, in your homes, as we've seen them, across Nigeria. But just before the emergence of the APC in 2015, this was part of what El Rufai, the current governor, was discussing in a forum. So if you ask yourself and you start putting the dot together, the question is, was the 1999 Constitution part of the reason why this current APC is not doing well as well? Could we say that the Constitution is having impact on them? Or is it just that they are not ready to take the task, where they continue to blame the previous government, PDP, that also wasted millions of dollars and naira that cannot be accounted for to secure the lives of every Nigerian? Good evening to you. Mrs. Comfort Adeleye says, good afternoon, Koike. Well done. We should just focus on Yoruba Nation. That is the only hope we have to go out of the failed nation. Yes, we are doing that. But tonight, it's all about different package, different program. And this is Star Radio UK. But yes, our focus is Yoruba Nation. But we still need to remind Nigerians, because we have a lot of Nigerians that still do not believe in Yoruba Nation, do not believe in the Biafra Nation, do not believe that the country should disintegrate. And our own job from Star Radio UK is to remind them about the Constitution. And that is why we are reviewing that Constitution again tonight, where we are asking the question, the 1999 Constitution, what do Nigerians think about it? So, but thank you so much as well. Mrs. Olarotimi also says, good evening to you, Mr. Koiki. Thanks for sharing all the news and information. We say thank you so much as well. Mrs. Fatima Mustafa say, gbogbo wọn òtítọ́ olè tí wọ́n jẹ́. That is quite a lot of Yoruba. Gbogbo wọn ní kú lójú wọn. Gbogbo àwọn ń kú lójú wọn, ṣùgbọ́n kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn kì í bẹ̀ wọ́n. Well, that's a lot of Yoruba there. This is why we need to go back to Yoruba Nation and learn our language, be able to write it, be able to speak it fluently. The reason why some of us have, I can still speak it, but when people write it, it could be very difficult to pronounce it, but I could speak it fluently. But it's just the writing that is a bit problematic for me. And the reason for that, again, is while we were in secondary school, if you speak Yoruba, it becomes vernacular. our language was taken away from us, and today millions of people at home even cannot. I mean, I have left Nigeria almost 2 decades ago, but a lot of those that are in Nigeria today can hardly even speak Yoruba, even though they've not left Nigeria, and we can all testify to that as well. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can do so, but the number to call is +44 74 04405917, and we would love to hear from you. 11 minutes past, like I said. Let's
this period,
I could see the expression in this video. I know you cannot see the video, you can only listen to it. Lai Mohammed is laughing like that. Let me just give you the expression of what Lai Mohammed, for those of you that are not Nigerians, I'm probably asking, who is this person? I'm going to ask my engineer to bring up the picture of the current government that we have now. Let's see if I could be able to pick up Lai Mohammed from this picture so that you could be able to know where he is. I'm trying to look for him. Maybe if I move this way. Okay, if I move this way, for those of you, let's see if we can give you the image of Lai Mohammed for the benefit of our listeners. So Lai Mohammed, right there, I think we could be able to pin him down from this picture. So if I bring this picture down a little bit, as the engineer is working on it. So I guess, okay, I think we should push it. I want to show you the picture of Lai Mohammed. I've got him there. I've literally got him there. That is the current. I'm going to show you. Just bear with me. What we can just do, we could bring out another picture, but I want you to have a whole. This is the whole cabinet of the current government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if you look from number 1 all the way to the back, then you look at the second row. The man with that kind of a black, hat with the glasses, not the same like mine, is the current information minister of what we call the Federal Republic of Nigeria today. And he has been telling so much lies. His name is Lai Mohammed, but all you need to do is just add a little bit to that name, and then you realize the lies that a lot of Nigerians have been told for a very, very long time that, you can only understand. He's laughing when this governor was speaking. He was laughing right there. He was laughing. Good evening to you, African Confidential. Lai Mohammed was laughing. But today, this current government cannot secure Nigerians. This current government have allowed terrorists to invade the military defense and barracks. Millions of Nigerians are now no longer living in their community. The local government is no longer in their hands. But this is what Professor Banji Akintoye is happening at their own time high. I could say like Mohammed, he's laughing. This was before they became, before the power changeover from PDP to APC. This is still Starr Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I just want to remind us now, as we are now going into this other segment where it's a sponsor, or well, not sponsor, but where we discuss more about the self-determination, the Biafra, the Yorubas, and other people that prefer to be out of Nigeria. This second segment is where we have this conversation. So maybe you do not want to call during the first segment. You might want to call in during this second segment. You are more than welcome, to do so. Once again, we welcome you, everyone that have joined us so far from wherever you're listening to us. This is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as we continue to review the reason why we want out of Nigeria. So also, the petition that we're asking you to go and sign, I hope we're all doing so. I hope we're all going out. Good evening to you, Arya Mudauda. Good evening to you again. Thank you so much. Mrs. Fatima says, all the political, no truth because of stealing. So it looks like a lot of them have been stealing so much wealth. Even Pastor Adeboye says 80% of the income for Nigeria is currently going to some people. But he has not actually tell us who are these people. Professor Banji Akintoye, 87 years old man, that think that the Yorubas are better off to opt out of Nigeria, was engaging with some Yorubas during a town hall meeting on the Zoom, and we were able to capture that so that we can be able to play that to our listeners this evening, the Wednesday edition of Starr Radio UK. Remember to follow us on Starr Radio UK on all the platforms. You can also go on our website where you can listen to to all the programs that we do. It is starradiouk.com. Everything you need to know, you will find it right there. Again, www.starradiouk.com. You can see when the next program is coming up, the blogs, the news, the entertainment. Good evening to you, Sonny Aaron. Once again, we appreciate those of you that are listening to us. So I'm getting that audio ready. What Professor Banji Akintoye said about the first ever election. Remember that election is coming up. I believe we're going to check our time clock, how many days we have left before that election, and if that election will hold at all. Even because a lot of people are saying that the issue that we have now must be resolved before any election in Nigeria. And some of those issues also involve the fraudulent military decree 24 that was put together by Abubakar Salam. He's still alive. He's moving around, creating peace when there's no peace among every Nigerian. He was part of the military hierarchy that sat down together to crop up this fraudulent document that is now making life difficult for millions of Nigerians, just as Robert Clark, the senior advocate of Nigeria, said, and just as so many people have said. But before then, 310 days, 5 hours, 44 minutes, 23 seconds before the next election. Again, good evening to you, Bridget Agboma. Good evening to you once again, everyone that is joining us. Nigeria Information Minister, well, he's not doing a good job. That portfolio should be taken away from him. Well, there are almost 310 days. So let us just wait and see what happened next. Again, I have my brother that have just joined us as well. Again, Mrs. Fatima says, God bless you, Babawa Akintoye. I say amen to that. But I also have our brother, Ayomikun Damiju says, I will not believe anything from Pastor Adeboye. He's crying out because his congregations can't afford to pay their tithe and offerings. Wow, what a different angle from our listener in America, Ayomikun Damiju. Continue to get your comment coming. I'll be reading them out as we get them. We appreciate those of you that are watching us on MixLR, listening rather on the MixLR, and those of you that are watching us on Instagram as well. So this is what Professor Banji Akintoye, the Alan or the Emeritus, is one person that believes that Nigeria are not one. We are better off to be out of Nigeria. But he said something about the first ever election that took place in Nigeria. Something happened. The British government rigged the 1959 election for the Northerners. And this is what Professor Banji Akintoye had to tell us.
Asked us to rig the election, and we did. One of them wrote a memoir which he called Blue Collar Lawman. He was a young man from Oxford, and he was not sure that the way the British were running the affairs of Nigeria and giving the Yoruba out was a good thing to happen to a country. And he was often grumbling. So he said, he told the story. I have had him tell the story. He said one day the Governor General, James Robertson, called for him. His name is William Smith. And the Governor General said to him, Smith, you have problems. Your first problem is, I hear you have been grumbling that the way we are running the affairs of this country are wrong, are not worthy of a nation like the British to be trying to twist the political life of it. Country. Well, I say you have a problem. The fact that we appear to be planning to rig the election for the Northerners, the 1959 election, the pre-independence election for the Northerners.
I hope you hear that particular section. Good evening to you, Mrs. Amina, and she says there, good evening to you, brother. Yoruba Nation now, no going back, and I so much believe that Yoruba Nation would happen very, very quickly. We must continue to create awareness. We must continue to engage the people. We must continue to tell the world, especially countries that needs to know about us, why we want a Yoruba Nation as against being part of Nigeria. So all these are part of what individual should be doing. Again, Niger Voices on Starr Radio UK every Wednesday, where you will be listening to me, on this particular platform. So Professor Banji Akintoye was advising us that, or was actually telling us, not advising, he was telling us about the how British government connived to rig the 1959 election for the Northerners. And that is why today, even those of you that are still thinking that the PVC will sort out our problem, I'm not sure how that is going to happen. This program will come to an end at exactly 8 p.m., but we're still about 40 minutes away, and we haven't played our first track, but we hope to get that ready for you. But let me finish what Professor Banji Akintoye was telling us. Once again, I'd like to appreciate my producer, Frank and Archie. I will be back again tomorrow. For those of you that have missed me on the morning show, join me at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Also, remember to follow me on all our own platforms as well, where we continue to educate and enlighten us and give us reasons why we, the Yorubas, should not engage in any more election in Nigeria. Because what we have been doing is we've actually been going out there to renew the politicians. I've been seeing them. I saw Saraki was with Wike. These are all politicians that have hold the bondage of your lives. The wife of the former Anambra State Governor Obiano, the wife also wants to contest as a senator. Nothing has changed. Good evening to you, Roya Ade. Thank you so much. Let's now complete what Professor Banji Akintoye is saying. At every 7 p.m. on this program, we'll look at review of the self-determination. Then I'm going to be coming onto what should we be expecting as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be returning back again to the court this particular 48 hours from now. The Biafrans, just as the Yoruba, want out. I'm not sure why ASO is trending, but at the moment on Twitter, ASO is on number 5. I'm going to quickly check on that, but we won't say anything on that. Okay, people are just saying end ASO strike. It doesn't seem that the strike is going to end anytime soon, but people are saying end ASO strike. So the question is, more Nigerians are still at home, especially the Nigerian youth. So if you're not from Nigeria, ASU actually stands for the Academic Staff Union of University in Nigeria. And for the last a month plus, every Nigerian student, apart from those that have the means to be at private university or private polytechnic, ASU that represent the Academic Staff Union of University are currently on strike. So I thought maybe they've come back to say the strike has been but according to the update here yesterday, the Academic Staff Union of University has urged the Nigerian Information Technology Development Agency and the Federal Ministry of Communication to stop sabotaging federal government efforts in resolving the current strike in Nigerian university. According to ASU Zonal Coordinator, Bauchi Zone, Professor Lawan Abubakar, disclosed this on Monday this week during a press briefing in Jos and said NITDA is misleading Nigerians on the credibility and acceptability of UTAS, which has passed integrity test. He explained that the University Transparency and Accountability Solution was developed to address peculiarities of the university system, which IPPIS does not. So that means that the strike has not yet been completed. So let's go back now at 25 minutes past. Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's complete what Professor Banji Akintoye was addressing us regarding the first ever election in Nigeria that was rigged by the British government for the Northerners?
Again, you have a problem because you are right. What we are going to do is to enthrone the Northerners as rulers of Nigeria. And you have yet another problem. I have set up a committee to handle the secret operations, the covert operations for rigging the elections. And I have appointed you to chair that committee. I was a young man. My first thought when I got out of the office was to go and pack my load and run away somewhere where they will never find me. But I knew the British government would find me, and when they found me, they would kill me. So I decided to surrender. I will rig the election for the North.
So I hope you got that. The election of 1959 was rigged. But Olatunji Officer is reminding us that the first election that took place in Yoruba land, Nigeria, was in 1923 when NNDP party under Adeyinka about Macaulay won election. Yoruba land is well advanced. Sonny Aaron says, bunch of scumbag politicians making living hell to his people in Nigeria. Adeoshun Oladele says, thank you so much for those of you that are still with us. We are just about 35 minutes before the end of the program. The conversation tonight has been focused again on the Constitution and why the Yoruba must leave Nigeria as quickly as possible, because Nigeria is no longer holding itself, not because we don't love Nigeria, but because Nigeria was never for us in the first place. The Yoruba has been in existence before Nigeria. Nigeria was put together by the British government in 1914, and there is no reason why we should continue to keep Nigeria itself. So, as we are reviewing all these, I want to go back slightly again to what the conversation that has been with so many people asking the question around Nigeria. Once again, thank you so much to those of you on all the platforms tonight. And once again, we appreciate you all.
Of Nigeria,
for standing by with Starr Radio UK whenever we're live at any point of time. So I just want to get into this view that some still hope and think that Nigeria will be a great country. It's just that we have bad leaders that have kept it from not working. Do you think so? I believe that a Yoruba nation will be able to give you almost everything you need, just as it's done outside Nigeria. But not a lot of people believe that. And that sometimes gets us a little bit concerned. Let's listen to this interview that was captured in one of the rural area of Yoruba land in Abeokuta. Is that Abeokuta? Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's in our local language. I would try to translate it. Then after that, we go into what should we be expecting with the next court appearance of Nnamdi Kanu. Are they going to change his outfit? Is he going to be given bail? Is he going to be allowed to have a bill so that he can at least have a breathing space? So all that I'll be discussing just after this next video. But you won't see the video, but you can hear the soundtrack. Let's listen.
Adibo àríkókó ẹ̀yin àròmíra ìwọ̀nba tọrọ kọ́bọ̀ ya ń pa ẹ̀tún máa ń kó mọ́ wa ìjọba ò ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
So these are our elderly mothers in what we call the southwest of Nigeria, or you might also call it, where we have predominant Yorubas. what you're listening to was an interview that was granted to us on Starr Radio UK, and they're complaining about the government not supporting them. The government is not there for them. Things are very costly, expensive. They're very concerned, and that's why some of them do not even want to be part of Yoruba Nation, because they think that we're all going to do the same thing when we get to the Yoruba Nation. African Confidential says Nigeria is not bad. Nigeria is not bad. It is working exactly the way it was set up, to which is to keep the indigenous people oppressed, and there's no doubt about that. So I'm going to go back to this. It's just a minute, 5 seconds. We appreciate once again all of you that are still watching and listening from different platforms across the globe. Again, they're complaining that things are becoming very expensive. Their children do not have access to the basic education is out of it, because as we said earlier, for those of you that are listening, the current academic staff union have been on strike for almost a month plus now. So that means all Nigerian students are currently at home. So our mothers are bitterly complaining. And this is why, those that are the lead of the self-determination are saying the best way is, rather than looking into a 2023 election, why not just decide to dissolve Nigeria and then let everybody go their separate ways, and we can still have mutual relationship with the North, mutual relationship with the people from the Southeast, the Middle Belt. But I'm not sure some of our politicians want that. They'll rather prefer you to go into a new election, even though they are not ready to allow you to have your say in terms of freedom of speech. Daddy Yatta has been kidnapped. We don't know where he is. Millions of people have been affected because of the negligence of the country called Nigeria. Millions of Nigerians are dying. Nigeria still remains the capital poverty of the world. Nigeria remains the #3 global terrorism index. And there's a lot of people, just like the pastor, Enoch Adeboye says, and I quote, 80% income of a nation. He's talking about Nigeria. This was a sermon he gave on Sunday, while they were speaking to some of their members across the globe. And if you listen to some of what our mothers are saying, you will quite understand the point of where we say it's either we have a Yoruba nation or we just, try to not even think about a Nigeria anymore, because the politicians have suppressed. And as African Confidential said, Nigeria is not bad. It is just that they've made it so, so that they can suppress the indigenous people. And that is why even the Hausas are now crying out loud to say ethnic cleansing is happening. African Confidential also says, if you can't build a house without a foundation, why would anyone expect to build Nigeria into a nation? Impossible. Mrs. Idiatu Muraina says, Yoruba nation now. Mrs. Fatima says, Igbowo Osha, Owo Babadami, Allah continue to guide you. And I say good evening again to Mrs. Amina, and the rest of you that is out there. Again, they're complaining that the sugar that was being sold at 40 naira has literally gone up. Almost everything is multiplying by 5 in Nigeria. Inflation is going very high. And it's not just in Nigeria. I mean, it's also going up in Peru. If you look at Peru, there's emergency. They've declared state of emergency in Peru. Last week we saw Sri Lanka. Are we going to see Nigerians coming out to protest against the inflation, the injustice, the killings, or are we all just going to keep quiet and continue to pray to God to come and rescue Nigerians?
Tẹ́ bá rí mọ́mì wa ìgbà tá a dọ́dọ̀ wọn ìṣe náà rí wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ni nǹkan tí wọ́n ń sọ ó right tẹ́ bá gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń sọ torí pé wàhálà orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń pè ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó ti pọ̀ jù, so a dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń jà fún òmìnira láti gbà wá sílẹ̀ kúrò lóko ẹrú. Olúwa fún wa ṣe, Olúwa dẹ̀ wà pẹ̀lú yín. tó tẹ́ bá rí mọ́mì wa wọ́n para gan, but a ti sọ fún wọn pé
Again, for the benefit of those of you that do not understand what was discussed there, the interviewer was just saying that our mothers were very angry, they were upset, they thought these were also politicians, and they were not ready to listen. But unfortunately, there was a kind of an agreement where they now understand that these were not politicians, these were just Yoruba people going out to say we must come and vote, sign the petition. I have one more video. Good evening to you, Mike Ola. Welcome to the program. Good evening to those of you that are watching us on all the platforms. Now, let's pick up these. According to the Twitter Tokos 4, Biafrans with their long history of struggle. The people of #Biafra who seek to break away from Nigeria to build for themselves a new civilization country where African life can be valued, all human life fundamentally is sacrosanct. Again, Nnamdi Kanu will be back again to the court next week. Well, not next week, sorry. In the next 48 hours on the 8th. What do you think is going to happen as the court case is coming up again? Let's read some of your comments on that. Again, there's a video I'm watching right here from Chineza Inwuru. #Biafrans are so passionate and ready to do anything to restore Biafra. This is just the beginning. Also, local government headquarters gate was painted in a Biafra color earlier today. What a very beautiful, image. Are we going to start seeing this as well in Yoruba land, where images of local government will be painted to the color of the Yoruba nation, flag? Are we going to see that as well more in the Biafra land? Because I'm seeing this for the first time, where a gate was painted, is a local government in the one of the local government area that was painted. African Confidential says Nnamdi Kanu better be released on Friday or else Nigeria burns down. Can't keep holding that man unjustly. For those that are not Nigerians, maybe you're listening to me quietly from Ghana, you are not Nigeria. You are somebody that is just asking, who is Nnamdi Kanu? According to what we know, Nnamdi Kanu is a British. He has denounced his Nigerian passport. He's a political activist who advocates for the self-determination and independence of Biafra from Nigeria. He's the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, which he founded in 2014. He was born on September 25th, 1967, just 7 years after the fraudulent independence that rigged in the North, put together by the British government. He's from Abia. He has a spouse. He studied at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and also the notable work, Radio Biafra, and also the movement, the indigenous people of Biafra. So that is who Nnamdi Kanu is. But my question tonight is, the next 48 hours, I can see a picture of, says those who were starved to death by Gowon and the British in 1967 and 1970 as reincarnated, and they are determined to restore Biafra in the mighty name of Chukwu Okebiama. Chukwu Okeabiama, Ise, no going back. This is coming from Uchenna at Jonathan Uchenna on Twitter. Again, there was, I believe, a peaceful protest in Austria. I saw the picture where Biafrans were protesting in front of the Kenya embassy. Remember, the Kenya government says that according to their information, Nnamdi Kanu is still in their country, but we know that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. Okeke, thank you so much. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped back to Nigeria. According to the Biafra Restoration Voice at BTBR Vogue, all roads lead to Federal High Court, Abuja, in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and I want to wear the cloth of my people. Ise Agu, that is what they are saying to their followers. Should you be traveling to Abuja for the court case of Nnamdi Kanu that we believe they must bring him into the court because he's been held since last year, and it seems even though 15 count charges, the government is still running away from their court by bringing Nnamdi Kanu to the court. So, as we say, Nnamdi Kanu will be again appearing this Friday. We know that the Biafrans are also, as the Yorubas, want a total exit out of Nigeria peacefully, because it's a peaceful movement, just as the Yoruba movement is a peaceful movement. But the question is, who is scared of, the IPOB, as they're known or they're called? Who is scared of this particular gentleman that wants peace so that the caliphate, we know and record have proven to us that the North doesn't love the East. The East doesn't love the Southwest. The Southwest doesn't love the East, and the Southwest doesn't love the North. So welcome them. We all want to continue to live in denial of one union that everybody knows is not working. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience, and he must be released by the Nigerian government that has held on to him after he was kidnapped from Nigeria last year. He has not committed any crime. All he's asking for is the restoration of the Biafra nation that can then, just as Germany, France, Italy, Cyprus, or Greece is less than 1 million people. How come then you must keep millions of the Biafrans to continue to be in a country called Nigeria that was put together by the British government in 1914, just as the indigenous people of the Hausa? So this was part of what Nnamdi Kanu was saying until I heard about this audio that was sent to me, and I'm going to play that audio, the sound clip, for the benefit of our listeners, because if we are now saying the indigenous people that are coming out from the Hausa and now complaining that the Fulani, that Nnamdi Kanu and the others like Professor Banji Akintoye and his deputy and all the Yoruba self-determination media have been talking about. Again, this is Starr Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, the Wednesday edition, the 6th of April 2022. We're just about 20 minutes before the end of the program, but we're just about to bring you what the indigenous Hausa are now also saying regarding the killings and the massacre that is taking place in Nigeria. Let's listen to it.
Owned is your favorite streamer's one-stop shop for all the graphics you could need for your stream. They have overlay.
They have burnt houses. They have this and the international community. Now I want to address Nigerians and.
For the benefit of those of you that are listening to us, this audio was released from a gentleman in the northern part of Nigeria as an indigenous person, just as Nnamdi Kanu has been saying that the indigenous Biafrans are being subjected to, inhumane, the Fulani are the one holding control of all the resources in Nigeria. Can anybody remind me of that particular music that, I believe was the Biafra that put it together, where it has the music that says the Fulani controlling all the, part of Nigeria. I would love to have somebody to remind me, the name of that particular track. Maybe we can be able to play that after this audio.
National community about the current happenings in northern Nigeria. Although it's not only northern Nigeria, it's the entire country, but most particularly northern Nigeria. And I want to address the indigenous Nigerians and the Hausa people, particularly in Nigeria. We need to rise up. We need to open eyes. The Fulanis are moving all villages, killing people, rampaging communities. they have no respect for religion. Fulani man has no respect, whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. I myself that is addressing you, I'm a Hausa person. These people have no regard for religion. If you are thinking it's about religion, you better open your eyes. The indigenous people in this country and the Hausa people need to rise up and open their eyes. This is not about religion, it's about ethnic cleansing. The Fulani people want to eliminate the indigenous Nigerians.
Okay, you heard him there saying categorically with his mouth. I guess my back end team have been able to get us the name of the, that track is called Fulani Control. I'll be playing that, later on before the end of this program. So you can hear the cry of this young indigenous Hausa man that Fulani does not have respect for religion. It is ethnic cleansing, just as it happened in Igogon, that thousands of our people were killed and property were damaged, just as it's happening across the Igbo land, just as it's happening in Middle Belt. But the question is, why are Nigerians not seeing this and allow the government to continue to hold Nnamdi Kanu, after he was kidnapped? Again on Friday, we would see what the outcome will be for his court case. So if you've just joined us, you're listening one more time to the audio from the indigenous Hausa that is complaining as well. Thank you so much. I've been able to pick up that audio, the music. We'll play that later on. It says the title is Fulani Control. Thank you so much, African Confidential as well, and those of you that are listening to us.
The indigenous Nigerians. Now, in my local government, your local government of Kaduna State, it's a local government that is...
Again, Kaduna State was mentioned. Kaduna State, in the last 1 week, we saw the Kaduna International Airport was invaded by the terrorists. We saw the truck was bombed twice in a week. We saw houses were raided. Thousands of people were killed. This past last week, over 2,000 people have been killed in Kaduna, and more than 10,000 or thereabout have to leave their community because it's no longer safe.
That is 99% Hausa people by tribe. But as I'm talking to you, over 4 days now, the Fulani militias have killed over 200 persons. And among them include my own relations. They have burnt houses, they have destroyed boats.
Again, you can hear him there. They've burnt houses, they've displaced a lot of people that have run into. I saw a particular video where hundreds of women and children were running away from their community. I was told they were heading towards the IDP camp, where I think they will be safer because their local government has now been taken over by the terrorist invasion. That's fine, no problem. Once again, we like to appreciate every one of you, and this is that track, because let me just play about maybe another 30 seconds from that audio, and then we're going to go back into the conversation.
Christians and Muslims. So it is high time for particularly the indigenous northern Hausas to unite themselves against this.
Okay, the northern indigenous Hausa, just as Nnamdi Kanu was also saying when he complained bitterly that the indigenous Biafrans, just as the Yoruba complaining, the indigenous Yoruba, our land is being taken over by the Fulanis that does not have respect for lives.
Onslaught. If those are...
Okay.
In position of authority, if you think this is about religion, then you are still sleeping.
Okay, you heard him there. If you think that the reason why the Fulanis are invading almost every part of Nigeria is because of religion, you must be joking. Let's hear what he has to say.
Not about religion. This is about ethnic cleansing. They are trying to eliminate...
Again, this is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, a peaceful free movement, have been saying continuously, that there is an agenda to Islamize Nigeria. And that agenda is being pushed on a daily basis in the disguise of bandits. They are not bandits. These are jihadis, terrorists that were brought in by the government. And even El Rufai says that they know where they live, but unfortunately, they're not doing much. So we're going to leave that, but let's play our first track, which goes like this as well.
It's Fulani. Their modernization first agenda is now complete. It's totally complete after that. Where is their president from? Fulani.
Later.
Chief of Staff, Fulani.
After the
Chief Justice of
program.
Nigeria, Fulani. Senate President of Nigeria is Kanu Yofas, Fulani. Deputy Speaker is Fulani. The Army Chief of Staff is Fulani. Navy Chief is Fulani. Police IG, Fulani. DSS is Fulani. National Intelligence Agency, Fulani. National Security Advisor is Kanu Yofas. Why do you hate Igbo people? I want to prove to all.
Again, why do you hate the Igbo people? Is what Nnamdi Kanu was asking. The Fulani government have now literally, kept him in the dungeon of the DSS, and nothing must happen to him. He must be released as the terrorists that the government brought in that have been invading every community is what the government should be running after, not Nnamdi Kanu. His last appearance, if you look at this picture, which the back end team is just putting together, this was almost his last appearance. As you can see him there, we can't wait to see what his next appearance will be like when he comes up to court. And I hope he will be given a new outfit so that he can be able to change his outfit. Let's listen more to the last track before I'll be handing over back to the studio. This is Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we say, injustice to one is injustice to all, and we continue to demand the immediate release of the prisoners of conscience. Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a movement that has been going on for a very long time, just as the Yorubas are also asking that we must dissolve Nigeria.
To all the Fulani that the hatred today in this room was brought about by Fulani Janjaweedism. Is it very clear to you now how they work? Is it very clear? Listen to the minister. Minister of Defense, Fulani. Minister of Finance, Fulani. Somebody that studied in Sharia law is the head of the judicial system. Fulani. Is it very clear to you now? Federal Capital Territory, Fulani. Agriculture, Fulani. Police Affairs, Fulani. Aviation of Fulani. Communication of Fulani. Fulani. Water resources, Fulani. Everything is Fulani. All the 19 northern governors are Fulani except the Benue Plateau and Kogi. Every northern and every apart from 4.
Thank you so much, Voice of Biafra, Superstar Media, Sharia Law. Yes, how come you can have, the Chief of Justice of Nigeria that studies Sharia? What a very country that needs to be break up so that the indigenous people can have peace of mind. We're just about almost 9 minutes before we hand over back to the studio. We hope you've been enjoying the program. You can join me again same time next week, where we will be on at exactly 6 p.m. Local time. We're almost the same time now with the Biafra time in the Biafra land, and likewise the Yoruba time for those that do not want to be calling it Nigeria. And for those that still believe in Nigeria, this is the last segment of that music.
All Fulani. Is it very clear to you now? This is theological republic. Because Fulani have a game plan from the word go.
They have a game plan from the word go, and that is why everybody that is still hoping that a 2023 will exist. Yes, that is the song, so factual. Good evening to you, Dr. Benjamin. I checked it. Fulanis occupy literally all the strategic position in the country. Maybe we should just play it. Do you think we should play it one more time? Let's play it one more time. We just let it go. Let's enjoy the remaining seconds because we got to hand over back to the studio in just about a few minutes. So let's quickly, and I still have one more from the Yoruba to play before we go tonight. Well, that is about it from that. You might also want to check it out. It's called Fulani Control on YouTube. What a very beautiful track that was put together by whoever did so. Again, we must continue to educate our people to go and sign the petition. It is very, very important, to sign that petition 5 million petition is needed, and we must do everything to sign it. The last track that we will come up with, there's a particular one I love so much. There's two of them now that I'm fighting in between. I'm not sure. There's one I love. It's called Orile de Mi, and there's another one that looks like this kind of a Nigerian culture music that you can, they call it like alujo. I love that so much, and that is why I'm not sure which one to play, but I guess we will decide which one to play, because we have to definitely play one before we go. I think this one is the one I would prefer to play. It's coming up in a minute. We're just 7 minutes tonight. I'd like to say thank you so much to everyone that have joined us. Enjoy this. It's called Yoruba Nation. Is in our language.
Unity ló dára, kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, àbájọwọ́ la fi sọ́yà, ẹnìkan ìjà wa dé.
We need a unity among the Biafra and the Yoruba so that we can easily and quickly, peacefully decide how we bring Nigeria out so that the indigenous people can take control back of their resources. So without a unity, we must not fight with each other. We must continue to, communicate, discuss, bring ourselves into our programs. Let the Biafra bring the Yoruba into their program. Let the Yoruba bring the Biafra into their program. Let us work together. Does not mean that, we will have a nation that everybody, will have a, Biafra controlling it. No, it will be the Yoruba controlling it, but the Biafra will be able to live peacefully in the Yoruba nation. And that also goes with the Yoruba to live peacefully in the Biafra nation and also in the Arewa nation if they want us to do so. But for now, Unity Lodara, that's the title of this track. You can check it out on YouTube. It's put together by Mr. Akibo, Mr. Popular, Yoruba Nation.
Kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, àbájọwọ́ la fi sọ́yà, ẹnìkan ìjà wa dé. Unity ló dára, kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Unity ló dára, kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan.
I'd like to appreciate everyone that have been with us tonight. At exactly 5 minutes before we hand over back. Today is the 6th of April 2022. This is Starr Radio UK. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard Alaba. Wow, thank you so much. I didn't just realize that you were there, but those are some of our listeners back in Yoruba land. Good evening to you, Mr. Anolua, and every religious centers. We say good evening to you, and to all our Muslim brothers and sisters that are still in the Ramadan mode. We pray that our prayer will be answered. We couldn't have come on air tonight without appreciating my producer Frank and Archie that are working tirelessly. Tomorrow you can join the Property Hour at exactly tomorrow. But every Monday to Friday, you can also join me at 11 o'clock local time in London, where we discuss everything about the news update from Nigeria.
Kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, àbájọwọ́ la fi sọ́yà, ẹnìkan ìjà wa dé. Unity ló dára, kájọ fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Unity ló dára.
Without unity, it will be very difficult for us to cross over the hurdles. For those of you at home, continue to go around the market, explain to people the reasons why we need to leave Nigeria very, very fast. Because the lives of Nigerians now, we'll also like to remember our sister. We're still demanding justice. I guess they're putting something together for her tomorrow, in Lagos. Let's quickly see if we can get a picture up before we go tonight. That is justice for Bamishe, and also to our sister that was killed by the DSS, Chineye. She was killed in the southeast by the DSS. We asked for justice for her as well. Justice for Bamishe. I'm sure a lot of you remember. She was killed by the government in Lagos State, where she was boarding a local bus transportation. She has been used for ritual, and we pray that our family will continue to console with them. Justice also for our brother that was also killed as well in Ibadan. As we speak right now, nobody has been apprehended. Dr. Chinelo was on that particular train until she was bombed by the terrorists in Nigeria. Jumoke Oyeleke was killed. Justice for her last year, July 3rd, during a peaceful rally that she was not even involved until the police straight bullet went to hit her. So you can see that there's a lot of crises, a lot of killings in Nigeria. And I say, in just about a minute, I will hand over back to the studio. But for now, let's enjoy the final bit of this music.
Unity ló dára kájọ fi mọ̀ ṣọ̀kan àgbájọwọ́ la fi sọ̀yà ẹnìkan ìjà wà dé. àyíní fọwọ́ mẹ́jọ Mr. Popular lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ níyàwó.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayeni, for that message. We say thank you very much, Mr. Ayeni Adegboye Philip. Thank you so much, and we appreciate everyone. I'll be handing over back to the studio, and just I say I'll be back again same time on the other platform where we continue to create awareness. Let us continue to appreciate ourselves as Yoruba people. Let us not talk against ourselves because, there's always different groups and different ethnic groups that also have issues. But the most important thing is we focus for the movement so that we can leave Nigeria just as the British left European Union after 16 or some years being together. No, after 35 years of the Union, the British decided to vote a referendum to opt out. So, like I said, I wish I can go further, but I have to hand over back now to the studio. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I'll be back again same time next week. Continue to listen to Star Radio UK, to all our programs that is coming up every Wednesday. I will be here to look at issues affecting Nigerians and to tell you reason why some of us now think that the dissolution of Nigeria is the only option. Your PVC cannot solve the problem. Once again, thank you very much, Nosiruddin Abiodun, and the rest of you that we probably couldn't catch up, mentioning your names. And I'll now say to the studio to take over from me from this end. Bye for now.
Òṣùṣù ọwọ́ sóun ló lè gbálẹ̀ wọn àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kó dùn òjì rẹ̀ kájọ finú kan bára wà lólóòótọ́ ìmọ̀ wájú ṣọ̀kan lábí kò yàjẹ́ra. àyíní fọwọ́ mẹ́jọ Mr.
Well, Ibitamari Demoni Elale. Thank you so much, everyone. I gotta go now. So much to do at the back end again. We love you all. Have a very good evening, good afternoon, good night to some of you, because Iletishila won't go me by Australia, Japan. But I say thank you so much to all our listeners from around the world. My name is Olayomi Koiki. A lot of you know me as Koikimedia. I say bye for now. No. I'm just actually coming off completely now. Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.